Welcome to the Climate Justice Revival Worship Service at the Unitarian Universalist of Tarpon Springs. I'm Starfire and I'm your worship leader for today. We are so glad you have entered and come into this place of rejoicing. This morning we're doing things a little differently. We are joining congregations all over the country for a time of renewal and recommitment at the intersection of the climate crisis and the deep justice commitments of our congregation. Together, we can move past systems and cultures of extraction to usher in a new era for love and justice at the center. We protect what we love. So during this morning's worship, we will be remembering our love for earth, air, fire, and water. We will be tapping into our love for people, especially those first and foremost impacted by climate disruption, like just what we just witnessed this past week. We will be celebrating all of our creation and recommitting our care for protection. Let's begin with breath of fresh air. I invite you to just notice your breathing. However easy or labored it is. Give thanks for those gathered with you. And give thanks for air, always present, supporting life.
Thank you, Starfire. My name is Barbara Kostreva, and now we're going to begin with the call to worship and chalice lighting. And I invite Charlie to come up and light the chalice at any time during this message.
We have Alex coming up to light the chalice.
Wonderful.
Because Charlie doesn't know how to do it, so he's going to be tutored.
That's super. Throughout religious history, revivals have marked periods of resurgence in people's commitment to their faiths. Classic American tent revivals took people outside the four walls of the church and out into the world. They brought the community together and served as a galvanizing force for the future. Often during times of great change or anxiety. In the midst of overlapping climate crises and mounting social injustice, we are in a time of great change and profound anxiety. Taking a note from those who have gone before us, the UUA Climate Justice Revival is meant to be a time to come together again and recommit. So as we come into worship, we light the chalice with the words by Reverend Megan Foley, Deputy Director of Congregational Life at the Unitarian Universalist Association. When Unitarian Universalists light our chalice, we are doing more than moving a bit of flame from one little stick to our favorite candle. When Unitarian Universalists light our chalices, we are showing what happens when we harness the power of fire. Fire is one of our world's most sacred elements, perhaps because it always causes change. Fire warms and feeds, fire destroys and eliminates. With a bit of attention and care, fire works with us to reveal, to show, literally to illuminate. Fire helps us to see and to survive. And so, Fire is an especially important sacred symbol today at our climate justice revival because we are in need of change. We are in need of warmth and sustenance, and we need to clear a bright new path for ourselves and the world. May this cup of captured fire be a symbol today of our passion and our care, our brilliance in the face of great need. Like fire, we are powerful, and like fire, we can create change. May it be so.
At this point, we'll read our covenant together. We strive to look for and encourage the best in each other
as we move toward justice, peace, and love for both ourselves and the world. And when we fall short, we will seek understanding, reconciliation, and a return to covenant.
And let us sing together hymn number 123, Spirit of Life.
I am. Are you? Okay. Our story today is What Do You Do with a Problem by Kobi Yamand. The recording is by our UU president, Reverend Sophia Betancourt.
As we continue the celebration of our revival together, I am so excited to bring you a story by one of my favorite children's authors, Kobi Yamada. The images are by May Bisam. This story is called What Do You Do with a Problem? I don't know how it happened, but one day I had a problem. I didn't want it. I didn't ask for it. I really didn't like having a problem, but it was here. It was here. Why is it here? What does it want? What do you do with a problem? I thought. I wanted it to go away. I shooed it, I scowled at it, I tried ignoring it, but nothing worked. I started to worry about my problem. What if it swallowed me up? What if my problem sneaks up and gets me? What if it gets me? What if it takes away all of my things? I worried a lot. I worried about what would happen. I worried about what could happen. I worried about this, and I worried about that. And the more I worried, the bigger my problem became. I wished it would just disappear. I tried everything I could to hide from it. I even found ways to disguise myself, but it still found me. And the more I avoided my problem, the more I saw it everywhere. I thought about it all the time. I didn't feel good at all. I couldn't take it anymore. This has to stop, I declared. Maybe I was making my problem bigger and scarier than it actually was. After all, my problem hadn't really swallowed me up or attacked me, I realized that I had to face it. So even though I didn't want to, I really didn't want to, even though I was really afraid, I got ready and I tackled my problem. When I got face to face with it, I discovered something. My problem wasn't what I thought it was, and I discovered that it had something beautiful inside. My problem held an opportunity. It was an opportunity for me to learn and grow, to be brave, to do something. It showed me that it was important to look closely because some opportunities only come once. So now I see problems differently. I'm not afraid of them anymore because I know their secret. Every problem has an opportunity for something good. You just have to look for it. And that, my loves, is the end of our story.
At this time, we will sing Blue Boat Home, number 1064 in the Teal Hymn Book, 1064.
The children will now go to their class. Climate justice is not abstract. It starts close to home and impacts people, including all of us and our neighbors. It is not a contest between our commitments to the planet and our commitments to more just society. In fact, the commitments are one and the same. Since climate justice affects the most vulnerable, we have chosen to share our plate this morning with Peace for Tarpon. Peace for Tarpon is a trauma-informed community initiative. They take a holistic approach to challenges that Tarpon Springs faces. You will find them working with bullying in schools, to joblessness, to homelessness, to the LGBTQAI+ community, to the Hispanic Outreach Center. This congregation is committed to a just world of abundance, care, and love. That commitment includes funding. We are now collecting the offering. Please be as generous as you can.
Please rise and body your spirit for the prayer of the people and planet. Fear stifles imagination and limits our capacity for relationships that embrace our beautiful and abundant humanity. Fear creates cynical cycles of supremacy and extractive relationships with each other and our planet. Reimagine Together is how we overcome fear. Reimagining together is how we build new center relationships in new era, putting love at the center. Today especially, we put love at the center of our work for climate justice.
Please rise.
Yeah, please.
We have a prayer for the planet at Starfire. Thank you, Starfire Lewis. And your response is there on this slide. So, the microphone. Sorry, thank you. Prayers for the planet. Beginning right here in our congregation, we pray for ourselves that we open our hearts to be companions, caring for a hurting world, and committing to create a world of flourishing.
Let us reimagine
A new era together. With reverence for the great web of life and with humility, we acknowledge our place in it. We commit to protect Earth and all beings from exploitation. So we pray for the land, ecosystems, all species, and the entire natural world. Let us reimagine a new era together. We pray for justice for local frontline communities who are impacted first, worst, and the longest by climate change and who face systemic oppression. Let us reimagine a new era together.
In our reimagining, we gain the capacity to recommit to communities of mutual support, which are the building blocks of an ecosystem of mutual survival.
Let
Let
us
us
Reimagine a new era together.
We look towards each other, people of faith, good conscience, and spirit, leaning on one another and trusting in the hope we can create together.
Let us reimagine a new era together.
We make right the wrongs of the past, not by ignoring them, but by doing the difficult work of dismantling the oppressive systems and behaviors that feed our illusion of separation.
Let us reimagine a new era together.
As we begin in local, committed communities of support, we find the strength and courage to widen our circles of concern, resisting hierarchies of value and ideologies of scarcity. Let us reimagine a new era together. In our widening and deepening connections, we discover relations in the salt-kissed islands of the Kiribati, the salt and frozen grounds of Nuktak, Alaska, and the life-giving valley of the Rio Guanapino. Let us reimagine a new era together. With humility and commitment, we acknowledge our own part in so much harm to our relations. Saltwater encroachment, dying permafrost, and the poison refuse of illegal mining.
Let us reimagine a new era together.
May we set down fear. May our courage to face the intersecting systems of harm lead to the strength to create intersecting practices of love and healing that all may flourish.
Let us reimagine a new era together.
Reimagining together, we build a new relationship. We put love at the center of climate justice work, and we commit. Let it be so.
An anthem is a rousing or uplifting song identified with a particular group or cause. For this special denomination-wide climate justice revival, the planning team commissioned an anthem to celebrate not just today, but to carry forward in years to come, identifying our work for climate justice. The talented musicians, Leah Morris and Adam Pod, have gifted us with the song entitled Part of It. It calls us to choose survival and make an art of it, poetic ways of stating that we are committed to working for a flourishing world, because our care of the planet and all its creatures is existential task. The lyrics reflect a sense of urgency as well as passion, dedication, and joy in the work. The song also calls us to curiosity, humility, creativity, and grace. The work does not fall on one person's shoulders alone. Contributions individuals make are part of the solution. We must ground our solution in community care with love at the center. Let's reimagine together. Please join in singing the chorus.
There's an eternal sacred circle. We are part of it. There's an eternal sacred circle. We are part of it. We are only part of it. There's the divine and loving wisdom. We're a spark. We're a spark of it. There's the divine and loving wisdom. We're a spark of it. But we are only part of it. We are a part. We are part of it. We are a spark. We're a spark of it. We are a part. We are part of it. We are a spark. We're a spark of it. Here as one voice we choose survival, and we start to make an art of it. Now is our moment for revival. We're at the heart of it, and we are only part of it. We are only part of it. We are a part. We are part of it. We're at the heart. We're at the heart of it. We are a part. We are part of it. We're at the heart. We're at the heart of it. We are only part of it. We are only part of it.
I'm Rachel Mislivy, your climate justice strategist on the Side with Love team at the UUA. I use she or they pronouns, and I'm a light-skinned white person, femme presenting, with a shoulder length, kind of curly brown hair and gray glasses, and I'm wearing a sort of turquoise linen shirt and some beaded flower hoop earrings. I'm sitting in front of a Zoom background that is red and blue and has flowers all around the edges, and the UU Climate Justice Revival logo up at the top. The love that lies at the center of our faith is a love that expects nothing less of us than the rebuilding of this struggling world. We hold a love greater than we know between and among us, born from all that we hold holy. It takes many of us in community to insist that a better future is possible. As the Reverend Dr. Sophia Betancourt invites us to hold love at the center of our faith, we must equally ask, how do we center love in the climate movement? It starts when we faithfully ground our climate commitments in justice and the reality that climate change has the same roots as the extractive systems of harm and injustice that we fight so hard against. With the same roots and intersecting harms, climate justice is racial justice, is gender justice, disability justice, mental health justice, immigration justice, LGBTQIA plus justice, earth justice, and more. When we provide safe housing for the trans teen rejected by their parents, living without shelter from climate disasters, when we offer sanctuary for our neighbors forced from their homes by climate disruption, when we open our doors as emergency shelters, when we advocate for labor protections for beloveds working in the extreme heat, when we fiercely defend our ecosystems, our water, our soils, our air, saving them not just for the privileged few, but for all of our beloved communities. When we ground our climate commitments in these challenging realities, love grounds. Love, at the center of our climate strategy, connects. When we realize that, even as the root causes are inextricably linked, so too must be our solutions. When we refuse to overlook climate injustice, when we shift from me and mine to we and ours, when we understand our interdependence, when we know in our bodies that the work is more than just technical solutions for those who can afford solar or electric cars. When we fight for clean energy, clean water, clean air as human rights, as nature rights, as earth rights, love connects. Love at the center of our climate resilience builds. When we overwhelm those challenging realities with community care. As Toni Morrison says, it's not possible to constantly hold on to the crisis. You have to have the love. You have to have the magic. That's also life. When we bring joy to our movement spaces and share snacks at our meetings as we knit socks and crack jokes, when we bounce babies on our knees as we strategize, when we laugh and play, when we draw on our faith, our inner strength, our hopes, our dreams, our creativity, our magic, when we creatively and joyfully elevate all of the many ways that we can create new worlds together, love builds. Love at the center of our climate action transforms when we realize we need a new way. When we balance what my community needs with what brings me joy. When we experiment with new ways of being, thinking, relating, and acting together. When we admit that I alone do not have the answer. When we reject those extractive systems of harm, when we reimagine our relationships, our communities, the world we want together, love transforms. Love at the center of our climate partnerships nourishes. When we overwhelm those challenging realities with collective care, when we recognize and honor the places where our deep gladness and the world's deep hunger meet, when we listen, when we faithfully respond, when we embrace imperfection and offer grace, when we listen with curiosity and intention, when we communicate with humility and care, when we offer joy in the struggle, love nourishes. Love at the center of our climate movements reimagines when we dream about what could be, and when we commit to make it so, when we clasp hands and say, yes, we can do this, even when we may not yet know the way, when we guide our shared work with hope for the future and commitment to collective liberation, when we save what we love, when we joyfully, faithfully, imperfectly, and beautifully recreate our world so that all communities thrive. When love is at the center of our climate movements, love grounds, love connects, love builds, love transforms, love nourishes, love reimagines. Let's reimagine together, friends, a world where all communities thrive.
Love is at the center. Every justice necessitates climate justice, and climate justice necessitates every justice. These are new stories that we're telling. These are new stories that we're telling. We are learning to tell ourselves a new story about our wholeness. We are learning to imagine ourselves into a different relationship with the earth. We are learning to imagine ourselves into a different relationship with the earth and how we live with them. We need these stories urgently because we need a complete transformation of how we live on this planet, how we understand ourselves in relationship to our earth, and what we are called to be and to do as a result. In other words, we need to imagine our way into different stories, and then we need to live them. This is exactly the move that theologian Sally McFague makes when she argues that the earth is the body of God. McFague was writing in the 1980s. Some of us were alive then. Some of us weren't, and if you weren't alive then, I'm going to try, and probably fail, to describe just a little bit of what it was like. By the mid-'80s, Earth Day was a known quantity in much of liberal America. Tensions over the oil crisis had everyone thinking about ways to be more energy efficient and more energy independent. Environmentalists saw a glimmer of hope, and they and we also saw many gathering clouds of war and global destruction in the form of a nuclear weapons race. At 48 years old, I think I was one of the last to have regular nuclear war drills in school. And even that was elementary school. They were an artifact of the past by my middle school years. But the specter of nuclear annihilation was very real, it was very present, and the sense of living within a period of existential threat was palpable. Not to put too fine a point on it, but McFague was riding into the teeth of apocalypse. She was doing theology on the cusp of existential annihilation. In other words, not too different from the theology that we are doing today with the presence of the earth and its suffering in our hearts and in our minds. Her method, which she called metaphorical theology, asked us to move into a place of imagination with her question, how would we think or act differently if this were true? She knew that she was working against entrenched notions of God just as we are today. And instead of arguing and trying to knock an idol off its base, she said, keep your idol, keep those ideas. Just ask this question with me. How would you think or act differently if this were true? And then she said, what if the earth was the body of God? I get shivers when I ask that question. And if you're struggling with this, let me remind you of two things. First, that some theologians have defined God as that which is greater than us, that which we are wholly reliant upon, and that which we cannot live without. Which is to say that nature, which is to say that our earth does a very good job of fitting that definition and criteria. Second, many have said that if I look at my checkbook, I will know what I believe in. If I look at my credit card statement, it will tell me what I believe in. If we were to look at our checkbooks, if we were to look at our credit card statements, what would they say we believe in? If we are going to have a God today, if we are going to put any logic up above us and follow its call, if we are going to open our hearts in surrender to anything, and particularly knowing that what we believe shapes what we act and how we act shapes what we believe, thinking and acting as if the earth was the body of God would be an awfully good model to live within and to live with. Hang out in that space of imagination with me for a few moments, will you? Can we imagine how different things would be if we behaved and acted as if we believed that the earth that we walk on, the earth that provides everything that we have, is the body of our Creator? The funny thing, of course, is that we need not imagine at all. It is literally true that we are wholly reliant upon the earth, that the forces of nature are far greater than we can ever be and beyond our understanding and imagination, and that we literally cannot live without it. Western intellect has made the fundamental category error of believing that we are separate from that which we are inseparably a part. The earth is God, and we are intimately part of God's body. What would we do? What would we not do? How would we move through a world where everything is holy, where everything is sacred, where everything is a story of gratitude and interdependence? How would we live if we understood that we come here not to make this the site of our efforts, but rather a place to fill our spirits, a place for collective care, a place for healing? One that kindles and replenishes our imagination, one that helps us to recenter in an imagination of what we could be so that we can go out and live it, and in the process of living it, make the world as it could be.
How do we embrace joy? How do we rekindle excitement and reimagine new ways of working together towards intersectional climate justice? Maybe one of the answers comes from outside our human shared experience. Maybe we take a cue from a nature-loving robot built in the wilds named Mosscap. The solar punk novella, Psalm for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers, is a love letter to mutual support, just and harmonious relationship building, and natural systems of which humans are only a small part.
Yeah, that was it. Okay, that's fine. We don't need anything else, I think. Okay, I would like to invite Pastor Patti to do the blessing of the hands. For this ritual, we ask that the choir participate first to allow them to come time to return to the stage for the closing song. Pastor Patti, please join us up here first.
I want to say first, thanks for the Daisy Headband.
Anytime.
Rituals facilitate connection and a sense of community, and they help us promote the values we share. This ritual for action is intended to help us embody what we have been talking, thinking, and singing about. And this feels especially timely today. Using water as a symbol of our renewal, your hands will be blessed for the work of climate justice. If you're ready to take action, please come forward for a blessing with these words. Friend, you are commissioned to act for climate justice. I bless your hands with water. May they do the work that must be done. Care for those who need the touch of kindness and create flourishing everywhere.
May we have the chorus line up first?
At the beginning of the service, we sort of missed one of the hymns, which is number 361. So after you've washed, you can sing, or you can sing and walk. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears, everyone. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Come wash your hands, everyone. Come wash your hands, everyone. Come wash your hands, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Now the choir will sing our final song, Ever Green, Ever Blue. Ever green, ever
Benediction by Reverend Peggy Clark. Knowing how quickly the flame of truth may be extinguished, how easily the chalice of fellowship is broken, let us be vigilant in faith, keep peace in our hearts, and make care for one another. The watchword of our lives together, so our light goes out everywhere into the world. Our light goes out everywhere, healing, and I hope all are needed. Let us go in peace to love and serve this world and one another.